Will contain spoilers for the series The Owl House. Thank you. Hello folks, this is Dragon Videos ready for another theory video, and this time around I'm going to do some characters of the Owl House, mainly these two, Luz and Amity. I'm going to go each of their individual character arcs, and then I'm going to discuss both of their character arcs as a whole, because their dynamics are pretty interesting to talk about, and I know some of you have been waiting for a very long time, so here it is. So many of you have heard about what I did with Luz in my last video. I do like her optimism, and I noticed that some of you did point out about her destructive tendencies. Yes, I would understand with the snakes, and maybe a little concerned about her Juliet tryout, but I feel like some of that concept is based on something deeper. She may be part of the autism spectrum. Autistic people have been known to have certain issues of social cues. They have the inability to expand their interests, as well as having set routines. As for Luz, she fits some of those categories because she doesn't exactly understand certain social cues, which can make her have a difficult relationship with her peers. And of course, there is a question about her relationship with her parents. We know that her relationship with Mom is good, but at the same time, we don't know what the father's like. Were they divorced? Did he walk out of their lives? Did they divorce? These are definitely some questions that we may not get out of Disney, but we definitely see that as a possibility because it could be a defense mechanism that Luz has to cope with that sense of loss and fill that void in her life. And this is also where Ida comes into play. She may help Luz fill that void and help her adapt to certain situations. Another possibility to highlight her character arc is basically where we have the Emperor possibly being Luz's secret father who disappeared out of her life for some time ago. I mean, sure, this would be a strong Rose Quartz and Steven parallel, but it could also help Luz grow as a character, not only as an individual witch, but also somebody who understands of the concepts of what she has to go through and what challenges she has to overcome emotionally. Okay, I understand the controversy with this particular character, but please hear me out. Said in my last video about the characters of Owl House, I didn't exactly have very high opinions about Amity in the beginning. You see, she definitely came off as two-faced, always putting Willow down, putting her classmates down, and also showing off her powers to the extent where we just want to hate her to a T. However, I think her twin siblings and her so-called friend Basha are taking that title. Anyway, when we get to episode 5, we definitely learn a little bit more about Amity and that she strives to be a very honest person. And of course, this pressure from her family and her so-called friends and everything else is causing her to be emotionally and mentally stressed out, even though it never seemed apparent, as we've seen in episode 9 and such. We definitely get the idea that what she's going through is not emotionally healthy, and it makes her strike out against other people. Not to the point where it can cause serious problems, but it can build up. So what I want to see in Amity in later series is to realize that maybe what she's doing is just not healthy and may need to rely on others in order to get through some of the tougher times when she needs it. And of course, in episode 9, she also needs to pay attention to some of her destructive behavior, hence the term blight. Another thing that I guess would also help with her character growth is the Emperor's Coven. Ida was also like Amity, wanting to join the Coven, but maybe there will be something in the Coven that may change Amity's mind and make her realize that whatever philosophy they go on is wrong, and may make her rebel against it. Relationship got better in episode 9, where Amity was laughing at what Luz had said and tried to mimic the library monster that was trying to kill them both. And basically, this laugh wasn't like a mean laugh, it was like a genuine happy laugh, like she actually liked the joke that Luz was doing. This gives Luz a sense of self-worth, because in the beginning of the first episode, Luz didn't feel like she was a special person. She would always compare herself to Azura, as well as the fact of that she was basically a nobody back home, as we've heard multiple times in the series. So this gives her a sense of confidence, as well as help her grow as a person, because there's someone her age letting her know, I do not like what you are doing, and it's not helping with others as well. Because in the first episode, everyone just ran away and the adults had to deal with it. Because with Amity, Luz is finally paying attention to some of the consequences because she has someone her own age paying attention to it and voicing it. As for Amity, I feel like she's gonna grow as a person with the help of Luz. In some cases, Luz is going to help Amity try to relax a little in terms of how to do magic and how to handle social situations. Even some cases may be the bridge between the relationship between Amity and Willow. It's not a guarantee, but it does give a sense of what Amity may have to do, along with Luz, helping her understand what it really means to be a better person as well as a better witch. And of course, I do want to see of how their dynamics go. As friends or as a couple, hey, we've had dads in DuckTales. I repeat, dads in DuckTales. So I'm going to be interested in seeing of how the writers are going to handle this. But I feel like both Luz and Amity kind of have to grow together in order to achieve not only their growth, but proper character growth. And that's all I have to say about this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And please come and subscribe, do a like. Please stay tuned to my channels for possible projects. And please do polls whenever possible. This is Dragon Vios signing off.